Let me ask you something. He used to text back within minutes. He used to make you feel like the only person in the room. And now, silence. Cold, confusing, disorienting silence. And what did you do? You checked your phone. Again. You replayed the last conversation in your head, looking for what you did wrong. Maybe you sent a follow-up message, maybe two. Maybe you asked if he was okay, if you were okay, if this was okay. And here's the painful truth I need you to sit with right now. That response, that reaching, that chasing, that need to fill the silence, it didn't pull him closer. It pushed him further away, not because you're not enough, but because you didn't know what his silence was actually communicating. And more importantly, you didn't know the one move that changes everything. Because when a man goes silent, most women make the same mistake. They treat it like an emergency. But a high-value woman, she treats it like information. Stay with me. What I'm about to share comes from deep inside the male psychology that most men will never admit to out loud. And by the end of this video, you won't just understand why he pulled back. You'll know exactly what to do about it. And trust me, it's not what you think. So why does a man go silent? I want you to throw out every narrative you've been told, that he's lost interest, that someone else caught his eye, that you did something unforgivable. Those might be true in rare cases, but in the majority of situations, his silence is about him, not you. Here's what's actually happening inside the male mind. Men are fundamentally wired for challenge, not in a manipulative game-playing way, but in a deeply psychological, almost primal way. A man's interest is sustained by what he cannot fully possess. The moment he feels the dynamic shift, the moment he becomes the one being pursued, something in him disengages. Think of it like a rubber band. When there's tension, when there's a healthy distance, a little mystery, a sense that you have your own orbit, that rubber band is pulled taut. There's energy there. There's pull. But the moment you chase, the tension releases. The rubber band goes slack. And a slack rubber band doesn't pull anything toward anything. Now here's the second reason men go silent. And wait, listen closely to this next part, because most women never hear this. Men go silent when they feel pressure. Not just external pressure, but emotional pressure. When a man senses that a woman's happiness, her mood, her sense of self-worth is entirely dependent on his attention, he doesn't rise to meet that. He retreats from it. Because deep in his psychology, that pressure feels less like love and more like a weight he didn't sign up to carry. This isn't cruelty, this is wiring. And the third reason? The loss of polarity. Polarity is the magnetic difference between masculine and feminine energy. When a woman starts operating from a place of anxiety, overcommunication, and emotional reactivity, she steps out of her feminine power. And masculine energy is not attracted to itself. It's attracted to its opposite. So when you chase, you're not just chasing a man. You're chasing away the very dynamic that made him interested in the first place. Now let's talk about your silence, because this is where everything shifts. Most women experience silence as absence, as emptiness, as something that needs to be fixed immediately. But I want to reframe that for you completely. Silence is not weakness. Silence is weaponized self-respect. When you go quiet, when you stop reaching, stop explaining, stop over-functioning in this dynamic, something remarkable happens. You create a vacuum, and nature and men cannot stand a vacuum. Here's what silence communicates without you saying a single word. It says, I have a life. I have standards. I am not waiting. That is the single most magnetic message you can send to a man who has gone cold. Think about this. When something has always been there, we stop noticing it. It becomes background. It becomes expected. But the moment it's gone, the moment that constant presence, that warmth, that availability is withdrawn, suddenly it has value again. Suddenly he's the one wondering. Suddenly he's the one checking his phone. Wait, listen closely to this next part. Silence works not because it's a tactic, but because it reflects something true about a high-value woman. She doesn't chase. She doesn't perform for attention. She doesn't shrink herself to fit inside someone else's inconsistency. Her silence says, I was here. I was real. And I respect myself enough not to beg for your attention. That energy, that is the most attractive force in a relationship dynamic. Not neediness, not strategy, dignity. And here's what most women don't realize. The silence you give him is also a gift you give yourself. It gives you clarity, space, the ability to step back and ask a question we're going to come back to in a moment. A question that is going to completely flip the script on how you see this situation. So, what exactly do you do when he goes silent? Step 1. Mirror his energy. Exactly. Match his withdrawal with your own. Not out of spite, out of self-awareness. If he's not reaching out, you don't reach out. This isn't playing games. This is refusing to carry the full weight of a connection that requires two people. Step 2. Redirect your energy immediately. This is critical. The moment you feel the urge to text, to check, to analyze, redirect that energy somewhere that returns value to you. Your fitness, your career, your friendships, your passions, not as a performance for him to notice, but because a woman in her full power, living her full life, is genuinely irresistible. That magnetic energy doesn't lie. Step 3. Set an internal standard and hold it. This is the step most women skip. Decide right now what you will and will not accept in terms of communication, consistency, and effort. And when someone falls below that standard, your silence is not a punishment. It's a boundary. It's you honoring the commitment you made to yourself. And step 4, and this one is subtle but powerful. Stop explaining yourself. High-value women don't justify their standards. They don't over-explain why they need consistency. They simply require it, and the right man will rise to meet that. The wrong man will reveal himself quickly. Now, if you want to go deeper into the full psychological framework behind these steps, the exact behavioral patterns, the communication strategies, the understanding of male commitment psychology that turns these principles into a complete system, there is a guide I want to tell you about. It's called 72 Plus Secrets to Make Every Man Chase You and Commit to You. And it's the closest thing to a missing manual for navigating male psychology with genuine confidence. Not manipulation, not mind games, real understanding, real power, real results. You'll find the link in the description below. And if this video is resonating with you, that guide is going to take everything several levels deeper. Now, here is the question I promised you, the one that changes everything. Most women, when a man pulls back, ask, how do I keep him? What do I do to make him stay? What did I do wrong? That is the wrong question entirely. And the fact that you're asking it tells me something important. You've been measuring your worth against his response. You've been using his attention as a mirror to tell you whether you are enough. I need you to hear this clearly. You do not need his attention to confirm your value. The question that a high-value woman asks when a man pulls back is not, what do I do to keep him? It's, is he actually good enough for me? That shift from scarcity to standard is the entire game. Because here's what's true. A man who goes silent without explanation, who withdraws his warmth without accountability, who keeps you in a state of anxiety and uncertainty, that man is not demonstrating strength. He is demonstrating that he is not yet capable of the consistency that real intimacy requires. And you, a woman who knows her worth, who has her own life, her own energy, her own standards, you do not owe that man your anxiety. You owe yourself the truth. And the truth is, the right man will not make you feel like you have to earn his attention back. The right man will notice your value, pursue your presence, and choose you. Consistently, not conditionally. When you make that internal shift, when you stop asking, "How do I keep him?" and start asking, "Does he deserve me?" your entire energy changes. You stop chasing. You start attracting. You stop shrinking. You start expanding. And that version of you? She is magnetic. She is grounded. She is the woman a quality man cannot afford to ignore. So let me leave you with this. When a man goes silent, your silence is not defeat. It is declaration. It is you saying without a single word that you know your worth, that your peace is not negotiable, that you are not available to chase someone who should be grateful for your presence. Go live your life. Fully. Unapologetically. With your energy, your passion, your standards fully intact. Because a woman who doesn't chase cannot be taken for granted. A woman who knows her value cannot be easily lost. And a woman who chooses herself every single time becomes exactly the kind of woman a man moves mountains to keep. You have always had this power. Now you know how to use it. If this video resonated with you, hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming, and check the description for the 72 Plus Secrets Guide, because your next level of understanding is waiting for you there. Take your power back. You've always had it.